Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, ladies. How is everybody doing? So I just thought I'd do an extra bonus episode today on Monday because I've got a couple of hours Sunday. My husband is at work till like 6:30. My son's playing upstairs. I've been out this morning and I'm doing content and I'm like in that mood to do a podcast. And because I've had so much feedback on last week's episode about those 4 week, the 4 weeks that we can create that mindset shift. It doesn't need to take that long to create that shift. And I just thought while I'm in that flow, I just thought, yeah, I'm going to talk about it and give you some feedback. So I worked with 2 new ladies last week, but I also have a new lady starting tomorrow, and it's just a one-to-one. And we are going to be looking at goals, looking at our energy. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, is looking at micro goals and creating those mega shifts, but how we can take those small shifts and create big autumn wins. Because what we do, we tend to focus on huge goals, like say the weight loss and the car, but you might not have those big goals. We all we could have a holiday, but what about just creating small goals, like micro goals, things for you for the month or for the next 2 months? And they're just little things for you that you can change, and they're the things that actually intrinsically make you feel better. Because to be honest, you might not want a lot out of life. You might be if you're like me, you're pretty easy. You've got everything you need. And sometimes we do need to remind ourselves, I've got everything I need. I've got an amazing family, my husband. And I am so grateful every day for him and the way he treats me and allows me to do the things that he does. And everybody needs my husband. A lot of my friends and clients say, does he have any brothers? Does he have any friends like that? I said, I'm sorry, all his friends are there. But all his friends are amazing, he's from Birmingham, and obviously we do see his friends now and again. And they're all incredible, with incredible partners, and they've all made me feel welcome. And I don't know if it's just a Birmingham thing, it's like they're just really polite, it's the way they've been brought up. And been brought up very much same as me, but with very good morals and respect. And they're all amazing with their wives. Nobody is horrible or mean, and there's not one bad one, and the group, no one tittle tattles. It's just amazing. So it's just nice, I'm so lucky to have gotten that as well. And so, because when you get with people, you do end up inheriting other people and family or children. You end up co-parenting. There's a lot. So sometimes it's the things like that we don't actually feel like, never thought about being grateful, because you do take on a lot more. Because I think we feel like the goals that we do get, they're the ones that we should be grateful for. But last week, I was so grateful for the feedback. And I even seen a couple of people that listen to the podcast at school, and they were like, I love that episode. It made me start thinking about doing, you might not have the funds to work with me yet, but you can still listen to the podcast or just do a one-to-one. It's a bargain for just giving you that clarity and just give you that focus. And that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing a one-to-one. And I've done a little pack ready, and I've put some crystals and some nice things in there, because I feel like she needs this. And like I said before, I'm lucky that I know this person already, so I can kind of skip a few steps. So if I kind of know you and I follow you online, and you do kind of have chats with me pre-hand, I kind of have a little bit more of an insight rather than going in if it's new. Which is fine. It's good, exciting when you work with somebody new, because you don't really, unless you're following them online like we do on our socials, we can kind of gauge what life we live. Very good at profiling and very good at facial reading. I read somebody straight away. I can read the partners, and I don't know, I've got this gift of I feel that energy and what's going on, or if I feel like something's not right, and I do tend to tell people, I've got a habit of like, oh, and they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know, maybe I've just learnt that. That's one of my, my psychic, one of my little like powers that I have created, and I think it does come with age, with wisdom. But we can just create those micro goals, like daily wins for you. Just create. So instead of just focusing on the big goals, and we can do that, that can be in the back, like in the background. Like I've done the weight, and I knew it's probably going to take up to a year to lose the weight. But my micro goals were getting fit and doing the small things like getting my skin well and glowing up a little bit. So I've had a total glow up, and it's the little things that I said I'm going to do for me. I'm going to put the effort into me, and it's a really hard time now because it's autumn and you don't want to go get up early and get out, and it's really hard to, you do lose the motivation. We need more calories. Our body, I've started eating completely different, but I've actually weighed myself this morning and I haven't bought a thing, and I've had a few extra meals this week with gravy, and I'm like, my husband's like, I can't believe you're eating that. And I'm like, no, because I don't want to not eat as a family, but my portions are a lot smaller and I don't finish my meal, but I eat the more, like most of it. Instead of putting more potatoes or more carbs on the plate, I'll swap it around a bit, and that's it. Having more greens on your plate, they're just little things that are your wins, because it's really hard to diet and to eat well, and because we start off well but then we always fall back. Habits are so hard to form. Habit stacking is for me, and I think doing this work, this talk therapy this week, and just going more into your mind has kind of like reminded me a lot about what I'm doing, and it reminds me that I'm actually doing really well. Everything that I'm doing, I'm looking at my journals as we speak. I've got my manifesting book, and I've achieved so much, and I can see that in front of me, and I can see it on my podcast follows, and like the feedback that I get, and everything that I've done has been independent as well, which is such an achievement. I haven't had to pay thousands for people to do it for me, and I do practice what I preach, and that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to feel like you have to spend thousands on people, or you might want to publish a book or do a podcast. But the beauty of that is it is a long-term goal, but we can do it as a micro goal every day. We can do a little bit of something, so we set up like a bit of a strategy, and just start looking at your artwork, looking at your niche, looking at like who your clients could be potentially, and looking at your episodes. So look at the month ahead and think, well, actually, it's just 4 episodes per month. That's it, 1 a week, but it seems longer when you say a month. And they're your little goals, they're your little wins, that you've done that. And then what you tend to do when I have lots of notes in my phone, and it might be just through inspiration, there might be things that I just sit down and I'm like, my brain just spills out onto a piece of paper, or I have a notes section in my phone. And then I do subtopics to what I'm talking about. So I don't have to script a lot of my podcast because I know what points I want to cover. Yeah, I'll have things in front of me like prompts, but it's just like having that little bit of structure and that plan and giving myself some goals, and the really excitable goals that I do on a daily. Even it's just getting through your to-do list. Sometimes we just need those little micro goals, and we feel good then. We're like, oh, I've done that this week. And it might just be a micro goal, might be just going to bed early. And I've actually been going to bed before midnight because we've been going up and watching maths, and then we've been literally falling asleep before watching anything else. But the problem is, if we put something on, we tend to watch it, and it's like 12:30 and it's really late. And I felt so much better this week. I've been going to bed before midnight. I've been getting up and I've been getting so much done. And I've just been doing all my journal. I've been doing actually a lot more journaling this week, and I've had a really busy week. And I changed my manifesting practice up last week. I just started doing more scripting and more visualization. So really visualizing it in a really positive way of what I want this week to look like. And it's so crazy how this week, every day has been amazing. It's been like a triumph every day of like, wow, like what a good day today's been. And I've been looking at my gratitude list and I'm like, yeah, and I've worked with this client today, and even just clients in my salon, like, I'm so grateful that they come back to me and then they'll have extra treatments with me, so they might have the hair done, but then they'll have a massage or another treatment, and it's just amazing. Like, I've always said this, my salon it's so effortless. I mean, if I had it on the main street, I could make it such a success, as in I would have staff, but I don't want that because I'm in my slow girl era at the minute. I just need to take things easy and slow, and I'm not thinking about, like looking at your money mindset approach and thinking, well, the week before I had a slower week, so I wasn't very well. I didn't earn as much as what I would normally earn. But you know what? I think if you've got money for a rainy day or you've got your bills covered, so what? Years ago I'd be like, oh, I've not made any money like last week, and oh, I've only made so much because we have like a number what we like to earn. A lot of us, because I don't work for anybody, so I only get paid off clients and coaching. But then I thought, money will come. Money will come to me, and I use an affirmation when it's ready to come to me. Because all I'm choosing now is not for loads of clients to text me. I just need to get well, have some time in my back room. I have been putting my steam lavender eye mask on. I've actually given a few out to clients this week because I feel like they've needed it. So I've been giving them out as freebies this week. They've had some treatment. One's going on holiday. So I said, take this on the aeroplane. Because they are really amazing clients. Like, it's not about when you've got a business. Like, I don't pact out for more clients. I look after the clients that I've got because they're the clients that come back every single month. They're the ones you bread and butter. They're the ones that pay your bills. And I look after them. I make them coffee, I give them water. I've got drinks in the salon. They've got snacks there and biscuits. They've got everything they need. I want them to feel like home from home and feel comfortable if they need to bring the children. It's those micro little like things that I set for myself the week, and everything just flows really nicely. And that's I've created that, and that's through my energy, my mindset work. I'm in more of an abundant mindset. I'm not in a place of lack and fear. Yes, we all want to earn more money. Yes, we want to have holidays. But then I think about how much more do we really need in life? We've got everything we need. I think the problem is with social media and other people in our industry is that we do compare. We think, oh, look how well they're doing. And it's so hard, comparisonitis, because we think, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And I think, oh, I should really get going with my book and I should do more work. But then every time I say that out loud, something on my shoulder, my little inner dialogue says, Lindsay, things will come when they come. Just relax. I've got a child with additional needs. I need to make sure that I'm there for him. I need to be present for him because we have to be there for our children at all times, whether they're young or they're old. It needs me to be happy and to be available. This podcast is sponsored by the My Nora app. If you or someone you love is experiencing coercive control, you need to know about the My Nora app, created by Emma Davey, a survivor and advocate. This powerful app helps you safely collect evidence, protect your well-being, and take back control, discreetly and securely. Download the My Nora app today and start reclaiming your power. Just search My Nora in your app store now. So that's why I've had to create the business that I've created around him, because I don't always have, I don't have the flexibility like I used to when it was just me and no son. I'd probably be at the gym every night till 10 o'clock, because it's so different. You just go out and it's funny how life changes when you're in a couple, and then when you have your children, it's funny because we never think that we can actually adapt as parents, and it can be a bit like single-minded, and you're like, oh, I'm not giving up this, I'm not giving up that. But you just become a family unit sometimes, and you change. I've changed so much. My husband said you're still fast-paced, but you've slowed down a lot. And that's just because I've just formed different routines and boundaries. And he said that you've got better boundaries with work. You're not working every night. You start having a meal, because I charge more now, for one, and because I know my worth, and things have gone up. I mean, when you've been doing the same industry for 20 years, things have gone up a lot cheaper than some places. So it's like, as long as you cover your bills and you've got everything, right. There's only so much I can do with my son with work, and that's why I've created the passive income, and I'm doing my coaching and my podcasting, because I just love that. That's my outlet. So it's just looking at just daily goals that you can do for you. Just set some micro goals. Set about 3. I want you to set 3 for this week. So this will go out for Monday, and I'll put another one out for Friday. So I want you to think of like 3 micro goals. It might even just be like me going to acro aerobics, doing something for you. It's something that if you say to your friends or to yourself every week, I really want to do that, I want to do that, then just do it. What's stopping you? There's always the saying, where there's a will, there's a way, and there is always a way. We can adapt things. Like I've adapted doing the Pilates at home. I can't get to classes all the time, and I don't want to feel like I have to. and it's also very costly as well for people, so it's not always within your budget. But then I can do it at home. We can do everything at home. We have the resources, we have the tools within our home, but sometimes we always seek outside. So how can manifestation meet macro action? So, what I've been doing is doing a lot of scripting. So it's scripture week. So this week, so it might not have happened, but what I want you to do when you listen to this is write your week out. What's your perfect week? Let's script it out within your boundaries and within your range. Nothing out there too much, because it wouldn't be in your alignment, would it? So think about, well, actually this week so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm going to the gym, and Thursday I'm going to meet up with friends, and I'm also going to do do you see where I'm going? Like, create your perfect week. And just let them, you honestly see so many changes. Because even if, this is how we bring your manifestation in, but we're telling ourselves we're doing it. We've wrote it down on paper, and that action will meet us because we've wrote it down. We've actually put pen to paper, and we're like, yes, I'm going to do that. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Might be just want to do 2 things that week. And this is why we're just bringing in or getting up a bit earlier, just creating some better morning routines, and then just let that flow happen throughout the week, because sometimes we're just like chaotic, and we should always have a plan on a Sunday, a food plan, time blocking, we should always time block, gratitude, have your gratitude book, have your journaling book, and have a to-do list every week. I know it sounds really anal, but we have to do it. If you want to have that perfect week, things do change. You've got to be flexible in your approach, because what can happen is something can happen when the children can get ill, and you might not be like the other week. I wasn't well and I had to change things around. But if we've got a plan, we've got a structure, we can see it's achievable, and once we see that it is attainable, then we think, actually, yes, this is my week. This is what I'm going to stick to it as much as I can. And that's the healthy eating and the exercising and the manifesting. And this is all the manifesting that goes together. It's just bringing it all together. And you don't have to manifest like the next person. Just manifest little things for you. Even if it's just one thing that week you want to bring in. But since I've started this little container, I've seen a shift in me. It's bringing me more joy and happiness. And it's just reconfirmed and realigned to me how much I love coaching and teaching and seeing when I'm working with people. And it's funny because listening to myself speak, doing this work with people, I feel like, is this me? This is me helping somebody. Who am I to give people advice? But I have got a lot of qualifications in what I teach, because I wouldn't do it otherwise. And I'm like, this is me. Like, years ago, what I was doing, I was thinking that I was the person, the recipient, and the person that's me is the person that's like my mentor. And I was visualising that is my mentor in a former life, but isn't it? It is me. I am now mentoring, so I feel like everything that I have done and I've achieved, it's led me to a path of, even though I'm not working in a gym, personal training now, I can do this within the body of how I coach. People might want to just do the manifestation and the mindset shift work, but I will add the fitness into that and the pain management. And that's what came up a bit this week, is a lot of deep stuff come up. But it might be surface level for a few weeks. You might want to cry. Crying is amazing. I will cry with you, because this is what happens. This is part of this work, this deep work. You don't have to feel uncomfortable or share anything that you don't want to share. But it's just setting something for you. Because if you're working with me or you're working with yourself, you've got homework to do, you've got something every day just to work on, and you can be proud of yourself, and you can actually see it changing. And even just an hour with the person, any coach, it's like when you listen to someone motivational on a podcast, or might listen to Tony Robbins, you're like, wow, like you're blown away, because the words are very impactful. And that's what I do with people. I'm quite good at like doing it around that person's bespoke like package, like how I know what they're like, I know the lifestyle that they lead. And this is what I do with the fitness. Like, I would give them a fitness plan, but I'd have to make sure that I knew what the energy was like, the availability. I couldn't give them something that was like at the end of the scale, because it just wouldn't work, and I know it wouldn't work, especially if you're a parent. So it's having something for you that you can work towards, and especially like when you are doing mindset work and manifestation, You're not going to manifest big goals if you're not doing the work, because you're going to still be saying in a week, I need to do this, I need to do that. So it's just, even you just book a one-to-one and like get everything down and just write your goals down and look at like what your barriers are and what's stopping you moving forward. Sometimes you just might need to say those words to somebody else and think, yeah, it's me. I'm holding myself back because of belief coding, and this is what it is. We are stuck with our old beliefs and other people's beliefs, and we worry what other people think of us. It's just, we can just get out of that. Once you've stepped out of that, everything changes. You're raising your vibrations, and that manifesting, just like that magic starts to happen. You just feel it, you just see it, and I see it with people. And then what I do, I see people showing up completely different online as well. Especially if you do I've got, work with business owners, they might be feeling a little bit stuck with what they're doing. Like a power hour with somebody, like completely like, oh wow, like throw you off. So yeah, so it's just just them little shifts for you, and looking at goals for the week. And that's what I do. I ask you to do 3 main goals and look at how you can achieve them. And we can achieve them more. And actually, you might want to change your goals to the end of the month. We've all got big goals and big dreams, but sometimes they might not be ours. We might be led to believe that we want to do that. But actually, do you feel aligned with that goal? Do you feel like you're going to be happy when you get to that goal? Is it because you think, because you're in that industry, you have to do that? Because we all feel that. I've been led to believe and feel a certain way. But I just try and stay in my lane as much as I can. If that outside noise bothers me, I stop following people. I just have a little bit of a break. People are bound to trigger us. We're human. We didn't have triggers back in my day. We had no social media. And we lived a life of so much freedom and abundance. And people gave more, shared more. Your neighbours were your neighbours. You had a village and a community. We don't have that now, because people are so scared of people and wary of people. And you don't sit in your friends' houses anymore. So you don't get that knowledge and wisdom. Like mentorship, me, years ago, would be off your neighbour and your teachers. But we don't get that anymore. We have to get that off coaches and online. But that's how we learn off other people, is by talking to other people. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, I hope you have a great week. Don't forget, that's why I thought I'd do this bonus episode. Let's start this week good. Let's start it with positivity, really good intention, and just do something for you. I want you to do something for you this week. Even if it's listen to 5 of my recent episodes, you might have fell behind, and you can have like a bit of a binge. So yeah, I want to give a big shout out to a fellow podcaster, Linda. She's had a bit of a break because she's been doing lots of like it's retirement work. She's been doing lots of gardening, and yeah, it's been amazing. She lives in Canada, Linda, and she's been on my podcast, and I've been on her podcast, and she had a bit of a break from podcasting. And I was so excited. She's launched another podcast called Grave Roots and Chicken Boots. So you've got to go and listen to Linda. She's funny and sassy. She's got a cheeky side of her. But it just makes me feel, she's so far away from me, but I feel so home from home with her. But I've never met her in person, but we FaceTimed and message online, and she'll listen to my podcast. And yeah, I just thought I'd give her a shout out to go on. Actually, I'm going to put a link in the show notes. I'm not sure how many episodes she's going to be doing, but yeah, it's nice. I love having friends that do podcasts. I like to support them and listen to them. And it was lovely because I just went to bed and I said to my husband, we're going to go to sleep, but I'm just going to listen to Linda's podcast and just chill. And it was just really nice because obviously everything she's doing on social media, she's talking about on a podcast. And yeah, it's just a completely different way of life then, especially I live in a city and she's got lots of woodlands and cockerels and just amazing. It's just the animals that I love like looking at online. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited, Linda. I know Linda will be listening to this, so I will put the podcast in the show notes. So if you want another podcast to listen to, you can go and support another podcast there. But this is the thing, is like finding things for you that are different. I'm not so manifesting and self-development and fitness. I need an outlet. I really do need an outlet sometimes. Take myself away. I'm not thinking about business. I'm manifesting and parenting. I'm just listening to something with ease and something that's going to fill my heart as well. And that's what I love about Linda's podcast. It just makes me smile. So anyway, I'm going to go now. So have a great week and send me a message. Don't forget to share the podcast. I would love some new ratings, some feedback on the podcast. If you could leave a review, tell me where you're listening from. I've had so many new listeners this week, but I don't know who you all are. So please reach out, send me a message. If you do follow me, send me a message and tell me that you listen to the podcast as well, because I don't always know and I can give you a follow back. So yeah, anyway, have a great week and I will speak to you later. Bye. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together, it's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.